Everything that every entrepreneur wants to know is how can I become more productive and decrease marketing time? Really clear, especially if you're in a clinical setting. The most important thing is always to keep your energy on the patient, on the client in front of you. But we all want to have more patients, we all want to have more clients. So how do you become the most productive version of yourself and decrease marketing time? Take a moment really quick, if you can, just hit the subscribe button. We put these videos out every single week. If you find value in this, give us more topics that we can talk about that are applicable to you and to your business. So 5 things that you can do. Now, here's the reality. The reality is that you're underpaid. We get that. And you're probably not paid nearly enough. What we want to do is we want to give you a formula to work through. That's not cookie cutter, because reality is my practice, the neighbor's practice, the physician down the road, they're not the same. And so what works for them, what works for me, isn't going to work for you. We want to make sure that's authentic to you, because here's the thing. With Full Circle, we want to help you design and manifest the life of your dreams so that you can have more time with your family and create more income. That's the goal, right? So the first thing that you can do, and it's the most hands-off from the client, it's really simple. Just do a survey. Now, you can use MailChimp, if you can use your email drip. If you don't have that, no problem. Just send out 10, 15, 20 surveys, and they don't have to be your favorite clients. Look for some of your favorite clients and some of your least favorite clients. In the survey, ask them what you do really well. Ask them what sets you apart from anybody else in town, or in my case, in a chiropractic clinic, you've been to a chiropractor in another town before you moved to town. What's the thing that sets us apart? Or what's the thing that we could do even better to set us apart from anybody else? So that way you can know what your strengths are. The second thing, how many people have ever been to the hospital and had somebody like the physician say, hey, how was your experience here today? I think we can all honestly say nobody's ever had the experience at a hospital where the doctor said, so did you enjoy your experience here today? You'd probably look around and say, where am I? So in the clinical setting, when everything's wrapped up and you've had hopefully a normal, good patient encounter, just ask them, so what do you find about this place that suits you best? Just this week, we actually took one of our clients out for coffee. And normally I won't do this, but he was a business person, and I was curious to pick his mind because he was looking to buy another business. And so I wanted to ask him, like, what are you looking for in a business? What he ended up telling me, he ended up giving me more feedback about my business and what he liked about being in our clinic than other places he's been to. The ambiance, the floor, you guys always have a welcoming attitude. Those are things I'm like, okay, well, we do those things really well, and I don't have to think about those. So I want to continue to capitalize on those things for everybody who walks in the door. So survey and then ask in a clinical setting, the first 2 things. The third thing you can do, also hands off, Google yourself early and often. It seems like such a, well, duh, I've done that before. But if you're watching this video, I bet you haven't done it this week. You probably haven't done it this month. And you know what? When I'm done with this video, I'm going to go Google myself again just to make sure that I know what is being said out there. And someone's like, yeah, I was Googling this guy and like found out there was this really random story out there. Likely, if there's a random story, it's not you, but it's somebody who has a similar name. New Leaf Chiropractic in Longmont, Colorado is where our business is. But you know what? There's another New Leaf Chiropractic out there, and it may not have the same sort of rapport as us. And so the fact that I know that, when somebody said, so I went to your website and I saw this, I'm like, you're at the wrong New Leaf Chiropractic. Make sure you look for this. So Google yourself, know what's out there. The fourth thing, listen. I know, you're a great doctor. You listen, I get it. But are you listening with an open mind, or are you listening for what you want to hear? I encourage you when you're talking to your patients, or like if you're within earshot, sometimes in the waiting room, I hear people talk about the clinic, what's working for them, what they like about it, and I'm listening for what I don't want to hear. If you're listening for what you don't want to hear, then that's an opportunity for growth. If you're listening for what you want to hear to make you feel good, you're always going to hear that. As doctors, we always know that people will hear what they want to hear. You tell the patient one thing, and they're going to do something totally else, and they're going to listen to their neighbor. Then you come back, and they'll say, hey, so my neighbor told me this, and I thought I should do this. And you hear yourself, you say, didn't I just tell them that? So are you listening for what you want to hear, or are you listening for what the patient is trying to communicate to you? And the last thing, this probably goes without saying, but please implement, 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 implement. If you're like me, you're quick to start things, but you don't always follow things through. If you follow things through, find somebody who's going to help you start them so that you see it to the end. If you're in my case where you're a quick starter and you don't follow through, make sure you've got somebody who you can communicate the findings of this to so that you follow it through all the way to the end. One of our jobs as coach and consultant is to make sure, A, that we start things quickly, and B, take things to the finish. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have questions, comments, hit the subscribe button here because it sure does help us put great content like this out there for everybody. Thanks, gang.